Good afternoon to all the fans. Welcome to Sports Night with Jorge. I am live. First of all, I want to thank everybody that have subscribed, give me the likes, the thumbs up. Guys, I'm very happy to say that today we are going to talk about the NFC North. This was a tough one. I said on my last broadcast that this is going to be a probably one of the toughest division that's going to play this year. Uh, those team has a stretch at the end of the schedule, which I'm going to break down. I'm not going to give you. I'll give you the records that I got for prediction. I'm not going to give you the wins and loss on each game. Okay, that's something that I also tell all my fans. That you go through OTAs, you go through to practice, you go to preseason, and then you got injuries. And that's one thing we have to keep in mind, okay? Basically, all these teams in this division suffer injury through the beginning of the year, through the ending of the year, okay? So, once again, I'm live. If you want to chat, you can chat. You have any question about your team. Of course, in the AFC North, we have the Ravens, the Browns, the Steelers, and the Bengals. So that's something that I'm going to talk about tonight. I started early. I said, let me go live. I'd rather go live than go and record this later on, which you'll see it on my on recording anyhow. So let me start with the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens finished last season with the best record in the NFL at 13-4. Lamar Jackson, remember, was win his second MVP award. However, they were unable to get past Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, losing to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. Looking at the Ravens schedule, and we know already who they start with. Thursday night against Kansas City on NBC. Okay, then they got the Las Vegas Raider at 1 o'clock at CBS. Then they go to Dallas. I mean, the schedule's tough, guys. At 4:25 p.m. at Fox. And I'm gonna break down the schedule, but I'm not gonna give you wins and losses, like I said. Then they got Buffalo at home on NBC. That's at 8:20 p.m. Night game. Then they go to Cincinnati. That's a 1 o'clock game. Then they got the Washington Commanders at home. Then they go to Tampa Bay. Then they go to Cleveland. And then they go to Denver. I mean, they come home with Denver. And then after that, they got Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Chargers, Philadelphia. Look how tough the schedule's getting. Then they have the Giants, Pittsburgh, Houston, and Cleveland. Now, of course, I noticed that this division has all the divisional games basically at the end of the season. Okay? One thing, Kendrick, which is a great running back. Great acquisition, by the way. The only thing is, can he stay healthy? Can he play a full season? Because remember, the Ravens lost a good running back too. So through free agency or through trades, either or. But let me tell you, the Ravens 2024 NFL draft. In the first round, at the 30 pick, they get Nate Wiggins, cornerback from Clemson. Second round, which was number 62, they got Roger Rosengarten, offensive tackle from Washington. On round 3, they got Adisa Isaac, linebacker from Penn State. That's a good acquisition, just to let you know. Round 4, which is the 113 pick from Denver and New York Jets. Devontae Walker, wide receiver from North Carolina. That's a great acquisition also. Now remember, all these guys are rookie. Would they start in the NFL? Who knows? On the 4th round, they pick up, which is 130 pick, TJ Tampa, a cornerback from Iowa State. Then they got, on the 5th round, 165th pick, Rasheen Ali, if I misspelled it, running back from Marshall. And then on the sixth pick, on the round six, which is the 218, they got a compensatory trade from New York, which is probably a free trade. Devin Leary, quarterback from Kentucky. That's another thing. They lost a good quarterback also. And then on the round seven, number 228 from New York Jets, Nick Samak, center from Michigan State. And then they run it off with the safety from Purdue. So now see Kane. If I misspell your name, I'm sorry, but that's how I read it. So once again, the Raven, basically, I have two to three prediction that this team can really, really, believe it or not, end up with this record. And that's what I'm telling you. That division is going to be so good and so hard and very competitive. All right. The most win I got for the Ravens in that division is 12-5. Now remember, last year they were on top seven. But at the end of this program, I'll give you the exact prediction. This is how tough this division is, guys. Okay? And that's the Baltimore Ravens. So now I got a little comments there in the chat. He goes, man, be good on my Cleveland Browns. Well, that's the next one that's coming up, the Cleveland Brown. Now, Cleveland Brown, guys, they didn't did much on the draft. I don't think they have much to do anyhow. You know, it was kind of tough for them, okay? Because when I look at that, I say, wow, man. You know, to trade players and get some draft picks or do some trades or do some acquisition or even when the draft gets there, you know, make trades. But like I said, that division was too hard, man. Really too hard. So give me a second. I'm trying to get this. Yeah, the reason why I went live because we're having a problem with our video. We have bad weather down here in Georgia, rain and all that. So, you know, just bear with me if you guys have a chance. All right, let me get here. I'm live. If anybody wants to say any comments on the chat, you go right ahead. Now, I should announce to you guys that I was going live, and I did this because, man, this division is very, very interesting, guys. See, due to the weather, I'm getting some difficult. Because if I'm not quite sure, I don't think they draft anybody in 2024, to be honest with you. But anyhow, give me a second. Yeah, I was right. They didn't have no pick in the first round. That I do remember. But anyhow, let me go where on the Cleveland Browns schedule for a second. Okay, because I'm telling you, this division is going to be very interesting, guys. Let me tell you that right now. All right, Cleveland Browns schedule. Are you ready, guys? This is going to be very interesting because I tell you, this division is going to be tough. Cleveland Browns, man, they start against Dallas at home. Then they go to Jacksonville. They have the Giants, okay, at home. They go to Las Vegas. They go to Washington Commanders, and they go to Philadelphia. Those three games right there are key games for the Cleveland Browns. Now, I think they could beat the Giants. Then they got to go to LA, to Las Vegas, sorry. That's going to be tough. Then they got to go to Washington and then the Eagles. And then they come back home against the Bengals, the Ravens, and the Chargers. That is a tough schedule, guys. So, and then they got a bye week. Then you got New Orleans at New Orleans. Then they got home Pittsburgh. Then they go to Denver. Then they go to Pittsburgh. Then they have KC, Bengals, Miami, Ravens. Look how tough that schedule is for the Cleveland Browns. But I'm going to give you what I see. The same thing I just told you about the Baltimore Ravens. They could go 12-5, 11-6, 10-7. That division is going to be tough. So Cleveland, I'm actually in the same boat. But I got them at 9-8, 10-7, also 11-6. That's how good that division is. That's how competitive that division is. You know, looking at that schedule, I'm gonna tell you right now. Before I go, injury is always part of the NFL. Okay. One thing I can say about the Ravens and Cleveland, Cleveland always find ways to win, find way to get key players, uh, great chemistry they got. I mean, with all the injuries last year, look how far they made it. Imagine they were healthy. They could have gone long ways. Ravens, they face Patrick Mahomes. You know, that's the team right now. I'll be honest with you. I tell everybody, that's the team you got to surpass. Now, everybody's rumored that Kansas City is going to repeat again. That's going to be on my next one. I'm going to tell you right now, Mahomes, that team has a lot of work to do. Okay. With the offseason, things that's happening with that team and distraction and all that, and people say, no, everything's fine. You know, you move separate ways and you do things separate ways and you want to, but you know what? I still believe that distraction and things that happen around your team and your, in your facility and what goes out the door and, in-house, it's mentally and physically, it could wear you down. Okay. Mahomes, a great quarterback, probably the best now since Brady has retired, to fill another legacy, but once again, injuries, that's something that plays in every league. So, and then the Ravens, okay, will Jackson become again the MVP? I think the reason why they got Hendry, and that's why I tell you, I took a little bit off time of my picks in a few minutes. I'll come back to it. The reason I pick up Hendry is because to help Lamar Jackson, because you want Lamar Jackson healthy. Listen, he could run. We can know he could run, but I think you don't want Lamar Jackson running. I think you want Lamar Jackson throwing the ball or running out of the pocket, but not running into, keep him healthy. ankle injuries, knee injuries. You don't want that. Okay, so I gave you the Ravens and the Browns, and now I'm gonna give you the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like I tell you, this division, guys, is amazing. Now I'm live. You could join in the chat. Okay. I know sometimes I don't hit the subscribe button for subscribers. I open up live for you to come up if you have any comment about your team. What do you see about your team? What do you think? How good your team is going to be? This is why I leave the chat open. All right. So now we're going to the Pittsburgh Steelers schedule and their record. And once again, guys, it's not going to be easy, but I mean, it is brutal the last 5 weeks of the season for all these teams. They face each other. I left Cincinnati for last because a lot of Bengals are not going to be happy when I'm about to tell about Cincinnati. I know Joe Burrow is back, okay, but that team has lost a lot of players. Okay, they lost key players. I don't think the defense is the same. I think they better get better in the offensive side of the ball, because if not, I feel bad for Joe Burrow. I really do. Okay, so let's look at the Steelers. They go to Atlanta and they go to Denver. The first two games are on the road. Okay. The controversy is about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'll take a few minutes, which that's what we're hearing. But sometimes you can't hear the media, guys, and girls, because, like I say, I don't talk about negativity when it comes to this kind of sports. I know we like players. Listen, I know that there's people that play fantasy football and bets on play. I don't go there. I just don't. I don't do it. I don't. Somebody calls me and tells me, "Hey, George, what? How many points you give Dallas beating this?" I don't go there. I don't go there. I go wins and losses. Okay. Because let me tell you something. If you think gambling, which is kind of weird, because I'm not saying that is good or bad, but I don't do it. I don't rehearse it. I really don't apply to it. And the reason why, and like I said, if you like to play, that's fine. I'm not against it. Trust me, I love you. You're my brother in Christ, like I tell everybody. I'm not going to neglect you, or I'm not going to say, hey, you can't do this. You're grown up, you do what you got to do. But it's an addiction. I got friends that say, man, George, this is amazing how they do these kind of things in commercials and things they bring up. And then it says, gamble safely. Be smart. If you have a gambling problem, call this number for help. I don't get that picture, but once again, I'm not getting involved with that. Okay? Everybody has their own preference. I respect everybody's opinion, like the way I want you to respect mine. That's who I am. Okay, guys? So going back to Pittsburgh, 2 games on the road. Atlanta and Denver. Then they got the LA Chargers. Something I forgot to bring up. Chargers, Harbaugh. Both Harbaugh brothers will face each other. That's another one that's going to be. Then they go to Indy, which that's where Pittsburgh struggled. Then they got Dallas at home. Then they got Las Vegas. Then they got the Jets at home. Then they got the Giants at home. So now the schedule is getting a little bit easier for Pittsburgh Steelers. Then they go to Washington. Then they come back home to the Baltimore Ravens. And then they got to go to Cleveland. Watch this. Watch how tough this is going to get, guys. They go to Cleveland, Cincinnati, come back, play Cleveland. Then they got to go to Philadelphia. Then they got to go to Baltimore. Then they play Kansas City. And then they end up with the Bengals at the end. Is that brutal or what for Pittsburgh? You see, Each of these guys that I just told you, each team, sorry, not guys, each team, Browns, Cleveland, Steelers. Look at the last 5-6 games of the season. This is going to determine what the record really is going to be, guys. But you see what I did? I gave you 3 records for the Ravens. I gave you 3 records for the Cleveland Browns, and I'm about to give you 3 records also for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They can end up 9-8, 10-7, 11-6. Once again, why? Injuries. Injuries are a key factor. On defense for Pittsburgh, I'm worried for Watts. If Watts could play a full season, great player, great sack leader, great defensive player. Okay. Pittsburgh now, the controversy is, like I said, once again, it's the quarterback. So Russell Wilson, learn of him. That's Justin Fields. Get experience. I know Justin Fields wants to start for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They both can start. They're both good starters. I think he'll learn from Russell Wilson. Now, people think that Russell Wilson is washed up. Guys, I don't think he's washed up. I think he ended up in Denver in a bad situation. In a really, really bad situation. Okay? So, this is the year that either he redeems himself or Justin Field takes over. Tomlin has a tough decision to make when it comes to this. So, it's football, guys. It's football. When it comes to defense in that division, and I haven't got to the Bengals yet, Pittsburgh has a better defense. And you might disagree with me than even the Ravens. Okay? Ravens lost key players. Pittsburgh, actually, by the way, Pittsburgh had a good draft. They drafted good offensive linemen. They got away from Pickett, the quarterback, which I'm glad he's in Philadelphia. One thing that Tomlin does good that I tell everybody he does, he's a winningest coach. He never had a losing season. He doesn't like the gossip. He's been criticized, and he takes criticism pretty well. It doesn't bother him. I think he coaches player in a professional level. He's not a. And Pittsburgh made the playoffs, and they faced the Bills, Buffalo Bills. Anything can happen, guys. Anything can happen. But see, this is when you bring chemistry, and people say, "Well, listen, I'm gonna tell you about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh fans need to stop criticizing the Pittsburgh Steelers. A lot of teams right now would like to be in the Super Bowl, would like to win a playoff game, and that's my team right behind me right here. Okay, 20+ year, try to get to the promised land or whatever. We just had our hockey team win a Stanley Cups in 30 years, first time in 30 years. All right, and the drought's over. Either you win it this year or that's it. You got owners, GMs spending all this money with all these good players. You're playing in the team, and you're not getting no result. You got rookies. It's kind of difficult, guys. It's not easy to make a roster, especially when you have a mixed roster of veterans, of rookies. Okay, 2-year guy, 3-year guy, 4-year. It's not easy, but Tomlin does a good job with it. Okay, if you see it doesn't fit in the scheme, he takes it out of the ball game and puts somebody else. You're playing bad, he takes you out. That's what a coach is supposed to do. But we had a lot of people just complaining and whining and talking bad about Mike Tomlin. Cleveland, what a year they had. They had a tremendous year last year. Injuries just got them, just hit them hard, Now, one thing I do believe, and I always say this in my podcast, guys, and a lot of people disagree with it, but that's okay. That's, like I said, that's your opinion. Why in the world you have a 53-man roster? Can you ask me why? Somebody in the 53-man roster is good, but if you don't want to give them an opportunity, how do you know that? If you don't want to give the individual a chance to play in this league, to show this league that that he's capable of playing linebacker or middle linebacker or offensive lineman or defensive lineman. I mean, but get the person an opportunity. But we don't do that. We go out there, sign a player, a veteran player. Oh man, the guy's home sitting down for 2 years. Bring him in. He can make us win. Most of the time when people come out of retirement or come out of, they're so. I mean, they need to go back in shape. I mean, it's tough. It's not they're going to walk in the lineup and you're going to win right away. But anyhow, I'm going to go back with Pittsburgh Steelers record. They could end up 9-8, 10-7. That's amazing, guys. Okay? But at the end, I'm officially going to give you the record for each team that I see. Okay? Now we're going to the Bengals. Now, this is the one, guys, that I'm going to tell you a lot of Bengal fans are going to be disappointed. Okay? To be honest with you, I think they are the team in this division that's probably the weakest. Offense, I'll give it 50-50. You don't protect Burrows, this man's going to have a long, long season. Okay? The injury that he had. Now, I'm going to tell you, the backup quarterback they got did amazing. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I can't tell you that. I mean, I like that backup quarterback, to be honest with you. Jake Browning, by the way. I mean, that guy did a heck of a job. Unfortunately, it was too short for the Bengals. But anyhow, Bengals schedule. They open at home with New England Patriots. That's not bad. Then, here we go, guys, at Kansas City. The Commanders, which is not bad. If you look at it, the first 4 games, not that bad, because they got New England. The only team I see there is Kansas City. Then they got Washington, Carolina. And then they got the Ravens, the Giants, Cleveland, Philadelphia, Las Vegas, the Ravens, and the Chargers. And now here's the part that gets much better. Pittsburgh, Dallas, Tennessee, Cleveland, Denver, and Pittsburgh. Again, look at the last 5 to 6 games of the season for all these ball clubs. Now, unfortunately, I could give you the Bengal record. Everybody in this division are going to finish over 500. Now, who's going to make it to the playoffs? We don't know. I'm going to tell you the truth. We don't know who's going to make it to the playoffs. So, I give the Bengals, because that's the record I just told you, 9-8. It's going to be tough for them. Or they could go 8-9. I don't see them winning 10 games at all. Don't like their defense at all. Offense, yeah, they got Chase. If I'm quite sure, didn't they tag the receiver? I can't remember if the French tag him or not. Or did he sign? I'm not quite sure. See, I've been working a lot. Trust me, guys, it's been tough. What's the guy named? Jesus. T. Higgins. So, I mean, looking at the roster and the running back, Chase Brown, Noah Kane, Elijah Collins, Chris Evans, Zach Moss. I mean, they let the other running back go too, the veteran running back. I mean, it's kind of tough, guys. It's gonna be kind of difficult, guys, for every team especially in that division. So, all said and done, here are my picks. And somewhere you're gonna see, a little tough one here. I believe Ravens will win 12 games. Ravens end up 12-5. I believe Cleveland. Now, also, don't know how this is going to happen, but it could happen. Winning 11-6. Okay, that's how tight it is. If you look at 12-5, 11-6, 11-6, they're only one game from that division. Okay, but honestly and truthfully, if you tell me who I really like in this division, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Pittsburgh roster looks much better right now than the Ravens and then the Cleveland Browns. Now, like I tell you, I'm not turning down the Cleveland Browns because that's a team right there, man, that their defense is still there. Their offensive quarterback, that's a little questionable, but injury hit this team again. So, but anyhow, I'm live. If you want to join the chat, you have any comments to tell me about your team, about your Browns, about Cincinnati Bengals, about your Pittsburgh Steelers, and about your Ravens. If you have any questions, let me know. I tell everybody, put something in the chat. Once again, injury is a major concern for all these NFL teams. I gave you the schedule of all these 4 teams. It's not going to be easy, guys. It's not going to be easy at all. So if you have a comment, let me know. I tell everybody that always don't be ashamed to feel bad about your team, or you think your team is not gonna survive. Don't be afraid that that your team don't have a chance, because every team in the NFL has a chance, guys. Sometimes it's a matter of where the ball bounce, with the luck you could get, you know. So once again, I'm live. I'm in the chat. If you want to join in, you could join in. I'm actually there right now. If you have any questions, let me know. And I don't know. I think there's a lot of video issue here. I don't know what it is. So, all right, Sportsnet with Jorge. Well, who do you like to make the playoffs? In that division, I'll say Pittsburgh and probably Pittsburgh and Cleveland, man. Might be another 3-way team. So that's what I feel. Give me a second. All right, guys. I can see my videos giving me a little issue here. I don't know if you guys getting video difficulty over on that side, but I am. Don't know what's wrong, but give me a second. Hold on. All right, guys. I got another question here. Will Cleveland make a trade for a quarterback? Well, depends on the injuries. Depend on Watson. Depend on what Cleveland has in store for that team. I mean, once again, injury hurt that team last year. So you know that's a good question. Looking at the roster, the Cleveland roster, which I could tell you that they didn't do much with the draft, but they maintained their roster. I mean, it's not a bad roster. Uh, when they signed the guy from the Ravens, Tyler Huntley, I think that's a good acquisition. I think the guy's good, speed wise, throwing wise. I mean, that's a quarterback that's really going to hurt Lamar Jackson when they put him in. So right now in your roster you got also James Winston. Winston is also a good quarterback. So I mean, Cleveland. I mean, you got Chubbs, you got Jerome Ford. Uh, you guys are loaded in the offensive line. Quarterback battle. I mean, I noticed this year that basically almost every team got four quarterback in their team. So somewhere somehow somebody's going to take over the second backup. If Watson is healthy, if Cleveland decide to keep Watson, contract, that's another thing. But I mean, you got Huntley. I mean, you got Jameis Winston. I mean, that's two good quarterbacks, man. So have to be cut or let go. The way I see it. Because remember, our preseason is only 3 games this year. I know, well, every year now, the last couple of years. That's why I disagree, man. We should have 4 preseason games so we can see what we really have, guys. See what we got. So guys, I'm live. I'll be here probably another minute or so. Well, probably more than that, because I know some of you guys are working, and if you're working, guys, you're going back home, drive safely. On the way home, be careful. I mean, if you're in Georgia, be careful. It's raining. The weather, I mean, it was thundering. It was bad. So, but be safe. Driving. Going home and have dinner with your kids and your wife. But that's what I got here, guys. That's what I got so far. So the next one I'm gonna do, which I probably do, which I'm contemplating which one to do between the AFC, the East will be the last one I leave. I got the North. I probably do the South, and then leave the East for the. I still got the West, by the way. So I'll probably do the West. I mean, I'll probably do, I probably think the only team which I think in the West To be honest with you, that's going to be good. It's going to be probably the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to be like Broncos and Chargers. And I think between Broncos and Chargers, they're going to be probably the last two teams that decide that who wants to be last. To be honest with you, but yeah, once again, guys, I'm live. You could join in. I'm going to be here for probably an hour. I was going to go in at 7. I was going to record this and give my prediction, but I'd rather go live because I had too much to talk to. And looking at all these teams, man, that I see, and I'll give you an example. Last year, I'm going to go back to the Ravens. The Ravens were 13-4, and they scored 483. Well, the only team better were 496, but they only allowed 280 points. Not bad at all. They were 6-3 at home. The thing that helped a lot, the Ravens, they were 7-1 on the road. And look at the Browns. The Browns were 11-6, and they were 8-1 at home. But see, on the road is where the Browns struggle. And looking at the schedule, their road games are going to be tough, and they were 3-5. Then Steelers finished at 10-7, 5-4 at home, which they struggled at home a little bit, but even though they were 500, and they were 5-3 on the road. So that's when they got hot at the end. And then look at the Bengals, still 9-8, another above 500. You know, the only thing that hurt the Steelers on the defense side, and I said the injury. That's one thing I see. And the Bengals, I don't know, man. The Bengals, I mean, I'm like I said, I'm worried about Joe Burrow, that offensive line, the protection of Joe Burrow. Now, remember, the good thing about preseason, sometimes these players get cut. Good players get cut, and then these NFL teams start picking them up and sign them and add it to their team, which is good, which be honest, it helps them tremendously. But like I say, I don't see the Bengals moving any higher, unless one of these teams has major injuries, and that's going to happen regardless. This is the NFL. Linebackers, offensive linemen running 4-3. I mean, you'd be surprised. I said, "Wow, linemen!" Yeah, it's just amazing now. These guys come out of college. The speed, the strength. So everything comes in common. Everything comes in common, guys. Well, I've been here for 45 minutes, so if you guys want to join the chat, so far two questions asked by one of my Sports Night guys that is with me, and then we have the Cleveland. Would they make the trade of the quarterback? I think they're loaded with quarterbacks, man. I think they're gonna have to make a decision with the quarterback they have. Worst case scenario, release. Watson. I don't know if it's gonna cost them the cap or not, or say. I didn't check on that either. I'm just trying to look at the division and the picks and all that. So one thing is, if you love your team, man, the good thing is don't criticize your team. Love your team, guys. Love your team. It's just entertainment. It's just football. Have fun with it. Don't let it bother you. I know sometimes, we all want to win. At the end of the day, we all want to win. We all want a Super Bowl. You know what I feel bad? I feel bad of those teams that hasn't won one, that needs to win one. So I'm gonna tell you another team you got to watch out. The Houston. Houston looks good, not because they got the wide receiver from Buffalo, because everybody thought that. See, I'm a firm believer that one player does not change the team. It doesn't. It takes the whole 53-man roster to do it, guys. And sometimes guys don't believe that. They believe that, hey, you know, we got the best quarterback, the best running back. It doesn't matter, So, well, the chat's open, guys. If you want to say something about your team, any comments about your team, I'm open right now. Give me a second. I'll be back. I'm checking something here for the weather here. Give me a second. All right, guys, I'm back. I'm just checking something here. Be sure that everything is going through on the chat here. See if it's working. Give me a second, and I'll be with you in a few minutes. I'm checking something here, so bear with me, guys. But like I said, the chat's open. Any questions, anything about your team, guys, go right ahead. Answer the best I can of my abilities about your football team, and tell me who do you like. Tell me who do you like in the AFC North. I mean, if your team, are you happy with his picks or you disagree, and that's fine. Like I said, I don't get upset at all, guys. All right, guys. Just checking. Hopefully, this is working. Like I said, the weather here is kind of wet. So sometimes I get signal, not signal. Sometimes I get like frozen. I don't get frozen. So that's what I'm checking right now. So hopefully, anybody out there that can see me, that can hear me, if you can hear me, we could talk about your teams, the draft pick, the pick, whatever you guys want to talk about, especially on the AFC North. Um, I don't know if you guys that subscribed got the chat. Didn't get the chat. Okay, let me see. I'm looking at the chat. Says, "Welcome to live chat." See if it's working. I don't think my subscriber got the chat thing, the live thing, but I'm live. If you guys let the thing open, it will tell you that I'm live. So I'm trying to see if I could get this to work. But anyhow, going back to the the AFC North, you know, I'm trying to tell everybody that if you really think the picks that I did earlier and those that are getting in there now, you know, like I said, Ravens the team that I picked. Cleveland, so does so Steelers and the Bengals are the last one, guys. So yeah, I agree. The Ravens are the king of the North, but their schedule's not easy, guys. Don't believe the Steelers all that bad, guys. The only thing that all team has their last 6 games are going to be tough. Looking at the offensive line is terrible, guys. I mean, I just feel bad for the guy coming back. I really do. I really do. I mean, I know he has Chase and all that, Lamar Chase and all that, but their defense are going to be, it's going to be brutal, man. It's going to be brutal. I mean, unless the Bengals score 30, 40 points a game, and that's going to be impossible. You're not going to do that to the Ravens. You're not going to do that to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you're definitely not going to do it to the Cleveland Browns. I mean, that's one thing I can tell you. Looking at their roster, guys, I mean, it's tough. I tell everybody, it is very, very hard, man. And like I said, if you didn't listen to my prediction earlier, I mean, I gave 3 predictions, but the win total is going to be the Ravens at 12-5. But then you could have the 11-6 Cleveland Browns, or you could have a 10-7 Cleveland Browns. You could have an 11-6, you know, Pittsburgh, or 10-7 Pittsburgh. Remember this division last year, 500. So everybody. Like I mean, I gave the records to everybody a few minutes ago. If you just join in, Ravens at 13-4, Browns 11-6, Steelers at 10-7. All these teams made the playoffs, and then Bengals finishing 9-8, 1 game away of the playoff with a backup quarterback. So I don't think Bortles gonna, he might have probably a mediocre year, the distant year, but I don't think the Bengals are that good, guys. That's gonna be tough, buddy. It's gonna be tough. I tell everybody to I mean, just look at the schedules. Just look at the schedules for the AFC North. It is brutal for every single team. The last 6 for the Ravens, for the for the Cleveland Browns, for the Bengals. It's brutal. I mean, they face each other at the end of the season. I mean, whoever made that schedule is because they know there's something that's going to happen at the end. They know there's something it's about to like I said, we might have 3 teams in that division make the playoffs. And I haven't speak to the other divisions yet because, like I said, I will speak about the other divisions coming up probably next week when I study their schedule. Because I'm not giving point spread. I'm not doing none of that, guys. I'm just looking at what they at their roster, at the depth of the roster, which I look at their schedule. That's what I'm looking at. Remember, injuries, OTAs, practice, preseason. We have to go through all that. Okay, we know that what happens that players get injured, players get released, they pick them up. So I'm gonna tell you another division is gonna be the AFC East, where the Dolphins play. Not because they're my team back there. That's gonna be another division that's gonna be and then you guys are gonna freak out the team that I say, wow, it's probably gonna be a 2-team race in that division, but I don't want to get there yet because I want to see everything. Because right now, Tua's not even signed. Tua's not. I mean, I hope he doesn't hold out, guys. And so far, he has gone to his practices and all that, which is going to start now. You got rookies coming in, then you got the veterans. So that's another subject that I want to talk about later on. But I want your opinion on your AFC North, and that's okay. Like I said, I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to get mad. But Cleveland. If you look at the roster, basically almost every team in that AFC North has 4 quarterbacks in their roster. So, especially Cleveland. Now, Deshaun Watson, we don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, we don't know contract situation. Like I said, the money they're paying him, and they got Winston and they got Huntley from the Ravens. Who knows, guys? I mean, who knows? Who knows? So, and like I said, Cleveland got an option to trade a quarterback and get something else for it. Have a good so. But anyway, guys, I'm in the chat. Any other questions you guys have? Anything you guys want to say? I'm actually live right now, so if you could go in there and add your comments. Like I said, I'm not going to disagree with you if you think your teams are better than what I said, which is fine. What do you find is a key factor for your team? Let me know. So, and like I told you guys earlier, the weather here is not as good as it should be. Because we had like video issues here earlier today too. So. Sorry about that. Yay. The only thing is with the Ravens that everybody think that Derrick Henry is going to make a difference. I'm not saying that he's not going to make a difference, but the only thing I want to bring about Derrick Henry, you don't want to give him all the load. You want to have him fresh for the end of the season. When you have to compete with the Steelers, with the Browns, with the Bengals, you want a guy to be healthy at the end of the season. They're running back. So I mean, Browns got Chubbs. I mean, the Browns still look good, man. The Browns in Pittsburgh look good, And I didn't say much about Pittsburgh, but I tell you, with the running back, they got Harris, and their receiving core, and now having Russell Wilson. Right now, nobody's believing in Russell Wilson. I got news to tell you guys. Russell Wilson played for a bad Denver Bronco team, regardless. Okay, regardless. Even though Miami, and I don't want to talk about it, Miami beat them like 70, whatever the score, 70 to 30, whatever it was. 70-20, whatever it was. He still had a good game. Had a good game. You gotta look at stuff in consideration, okay? You know, Russell Wilson, it's a great quarterback, especially for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The only thing is, yeah, there is a battle. There is a controversy battle there. So the chat's open, guys. If you guys have something to say about your team, go ahead, guys. I mean, I'm right here. I'm just talking away, looking at the AFC North. Like I said, Ravens finished last year at 13-4, Browns 11-6, Steelers at 10-7, Bengals 9-8. And like I say, between Steelers and Cleveland could be in second place. They could probably end up tied, which that's what I think I said earlier. They could end up tied. So, and that's, man, it's not the same. It's not the same, guys. Not the same individual. You know, another division that I'm can't wait to talk to is what the Chargers is. What Harbaugh is going to do. So he got his hands full too. I don't think Herbert would like to be in the rebuild mode. You know, but that's where he's in right now, in the rebuild mode. So it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy for none of these football players. You know, especially football teams. It's not going to be that easy. So. Well, I did came live. Like I say, I was gonna make this a video, but I didn't make it a video because I had too much information from every team. Didn't say much about about the draft and everything, but which I did from the Ravens, because that's the team that's gonna win the division. I mean, also the draft pick of Pittsburgh. They made an excellent draft pick. They had a great draft pick, by the way. Also free agency. Getting Russell Wilson. Getting the Bears quarterback, Justin Fields. So, they're loaded, guys. They're really loaded. Now it's just focus and get the job done. And then we talk a little about Mike Tomlin. Hasn't lost all season. He doesn't have a losing record all season since he's been a Pittsburgh Steelers. And you got Pittsburgh fanatics or fans criticizing the guy and getting mad at the guy and all that stuff. But no, man. Those things happen, guys. Okay, you can try this now. Give me a second. 1, 2, 3 testing. Can you try it now? See, they're telling me they can't hear me. See, it could be a video issue here somewhere. Can you hear me now? 1, 2, 3 testing. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3. One, two. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me now? 1, 2. See, I'm just getting a feedback that I'm going in and out. So see, I don't know. See, it's the bad weather down here. I don't know what's going on. You can go in the chat and tell me if you hear me, don't hear me. Can you hear me? Yes or no? Can you hear me? Let me try this, see what happens. Don't know why. Why is it doing that? 1, 2, 3 testing. Testing. Can you hear me now? Give me a second, guys. See if I can test this. Sorry for getting a video. One, two, three, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right, send me a message. See if you guys can hear me on the chat. Go under the chat and see if you can hear me clearly. Don't know what's wrong with the. That's kind of weird. Can't you hear me now? All right, let me see if I could hear this. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Can you hear me? I guess I'm having a problem with the video once again. Give me a second, guys. See if you guys can hear me. All right. I'm trying this one more time. See if you can hear me. Somebody's telling me they're having a problem with the mic. Like I said, I'm getting bad weather down here. Hopefully the weather's it's gone already. So let me try something here. See what happens. It says excellent connection, but I don't. All right, go in the chat. See if you can add something in the chat and see if you can hear me. I'm checking the connection here on this side. So, all right, I think I'm gonna have to come out of here. Something's wrong with the. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me put this on pause. Let me check, see what's wrong with the video. Give me a second, guys. 1, 2, 3 testing. 1, 2, 3 testing. No, wait. 1, 2, 3 testing. Yeah. Okay, pongo en el chat. Así sale en el chat. I don't know what's going on. I think it's es que también aquí está lloviendo. And the weather's bad down here. So I'm still there o se fue. So you can hear me on the mic, or you can hear me on the thing. Oh, eso fue que le pegaron. Oh, espérate. Hold on a second. Hold on. Ponga algo en el chat. A ver si me está. Ponga algo en el chat. Escribe algo. Hey, how you doing? I look at me in the chat. I'm just trying to chat. Okay, no way. See? Hello, how you doing? Oh, okay, ya yo te veo. Okay, now I can see it. All right. Okay, mira, wait. Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm just talking to my sister, see if she can hear me. She told me she's having the mic is not working properly. So, can you hear me now? You can't hear me. That's strange. All right, give me a second. Let's try something right here. Hold on. Oh, Jesus.